Next, I'm going to share the two correlating simultaneous processes that occur during the customer acquisition process in a CyberFunnels campaign. When both processes are positioned and executed properly, it creates an ideal condition for the person to make a decision about your product or service. These processes lead to further establishing your brand's positioning, the building of goodwill, and the overall boost of your company's value in the marketplace. The result? More customers for you. So let's take a moment to explain these processes and how it relates to our full discovery session. The first process has three segments that include pre-framing, indoctrination, and conversion. Pre-framing is what people think about you before they enter your system or your CyberFunnels campaign. They're excited about finding you and your offer, expecting your offer to be amazing, and they won't necessarily be worried about the price. Right now, they're more interested to find out if your product or service is a good fit to their needs and how long it will take them to achieve their desired result or solve their problem. It creates the type of anticipation in your market for your visitors and prospects. You want them to think they're awesome before they ever opt in to your funnel. To do this, CyberFunnels use a proven strategy to get people to opt in to your system. By opt-in, I just mean that they're going to share their contact information with you. Our strategy is known as the magnetic messaging formula, which works by using activators, of which you just learned about, to cut through the clutter and capture their attention. Next, you'll want to inform the client and help them rationalize their decision using educational content. A lot can be said about educational marketing, and generally speaking, it's good and it's important. However, it can be useless if you're trying to inform and educate a client, but you haven't captured their attention. Does that make sense? If you haven't captured their attention and made a connection, everything else is just wasted energy. If you haven't done it right, then the prospect won't want to be educated. That's part of what our magnetic messaging formula is all about. Building on steps one by one in a natural progression that leads a prospect toward making a decision. Then you have to incentivize them to take the next step in the buying process. Typically, this is done in the form of an offer where you're going to provide something that will require them to take action, but not to make their final decision about your product or service. This could be in the form of a significant discount on something, a free item, or even an invitation to a special event. It simply needs to be something that takes some form of action. Even something as simple as having them click on a link to read more. At least you know they've taken action and are more serious. So it's extremely important to include this step. If you don't, you're wasting money on any additional advertising or time spent convincing that prospect to learn more because they aren't acting. Let's move to the next second segment called indoctrination. Indoctrination is what happens after they've opted in or shared their contact information with you. This is where you begin demonstrating that you can help them by actually helping them. When you help them, when you are client focused, you help them decide to give you some money. CyberFunnel campaigns use our perfect pitch videos to do this with the most impact because at some point your warm lead is going to have to learn more about your product or service and understand the benefits before they become a highly qualified prospect. But what happens if they don't take action? What happens if the momentum stalls? This is the beauty of the CyberFunnels system. We continue to gently nudge them in the right direction with our Prospects in Motion automated reminders. These are not your typical, annoying, selfish autoresponder emails that your competitors use. Prospects in Motion are just that, automated follow-ups that use every touch as an opportunity to add value and get your prospect closer to their desired results. Remember how we mentioned earlier that the true benefit comes from actually helping them. And this is what the concept is all about. As they begin to see the value in your communication, which will be about them, about meeting their needs, they will start building goodwill towards your company. So you have to be certain that your automated follow-ups are valuable and continue to move a prospect toward making a decision. The third segment, conversion, well, simply means that you're converting a highly qualified prospect into a customer. This can be done completely online as part of your automated process. In person, doing a one-on-one consultation or any combination of other methods. What's interesting is that most of your competitors are laser focused on conversion, getting them to sign on the dotted line, while they ignore the other two crucial segments. Skip the first two, and what do you get? You get a sales team that is desperately working to convince unqualified, uneducated prospects to buy whatever it is they're selling, with poor results. Chasing unqualified leads result in lost opportunities and an exhausted sales team that'll be ready to move on to their next opportunity sooner rather than later. That's what makes CyberFunnels so unique and effective. These processes work in harmony with a cohesive system while it establishes your company and your brand position in the market to generate goodwill, trust, desire, and finally, customers. The second process has three segments that include desire and trust, emotion, and rationalization. These together naturally lead to more customer acquisitions. This is the psychological mechanics that happen in the brain, which must occur in order to secure a sale, regardless of what you're selling. Think about it. If there is desire and trust, even an emotional bond about wanting to buy your product or service, but they can't rationalize the decision, they likely won't buy. For instance, a lot of people may desire a Lamborghini. They trust that it's an awesome vehicle, and they may even get emotional about the thoughts of driving one. But they can't rationalize spending $500,000 on a car, even if they have the money to do it. In the end, no matter how emotional they are, the sale isn't going to happen. One must always consider buyer's remorse as well. If a decision is overly emotional and these emotions wear off after a short time, what's the result? Buyer's remorse. They begin second-guessing their decision instead of defending it. This is the foundation for an unhappy, overly difficult customer who, well, you will likely never be able to satisfy because they feel foolish for making an emotional decision. You must have all these things in order for a conversion to happen and make a sale where the customer defends the decision to themselves, to their family, friends, and coworkers. So why am I telling you about this? It's because every CyberFunnel campaign includes both of these processes, and they automatically work to create the most ideal condition for your prospect to become your customer. Right now, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this video. You've just been given an insider's view that go into every CyberFunnel campaign. I trust that now you have understood more fully why CyberFunnels are so different and so effective. As we wrap up in this video, if you've not scheduled your Rapid Results Discovery session, you can do so now by clicking the orange button below to ensure your business isn't left behind.